Hey guys, give me just a moment. And we are Tuesday night. Tuesday night with Sniper. Hey Daniel. Hey Heavenly. Then Jerry Princess. Thanks for being here. Hey guys. Michael says, woohoo. 13 pages left to write. Nice. Where you can get yourself a free copy. Did you say free? Free copy? Mysteries Untold on a History of America in the Google Play Store. That's right. I said free. You did say free. By the way, hey there, Yogi. Hey, Michael. Angel Murray. Angel Mare says, hey, Yogi. Angel Mare, how are you? Hey, why'd you decide to go to Google Play and not Amazon? Hey. I saw that you were Nightmare. Changed your name. I also see you got 54, I think 55 now subscribers. So when's the first live stream? You got 55 subscribers. Hey, Cat. Cat says, he says so to all. Cat says French fries, Yogi. French fries. It's the new mantra. Instant enlightenment. You meditate upon the word French fries. Can't be French fry. It's going to be French fries. One won't do it. Have you ever seen anyone just eat one French fries? And nah, I've had enough. I don't think it can be done. I don't even think the greatest yogis of all could just have one little French fry and say, I'm done. I could probably do it with a potato chip. Don't know if I could do it with a French fry. That's what's for dinner. Plain old French fries, you're going to jazz them up a bit. Nightmare says, waiting on it, working again. I'd hit 50 subs 4 times. People kept unsubscribing. Our friend Skits helped with that. Awesome. Hey, did you hit you got to hit the go live button. It takes 24 hours to set up. So make sure you set it up. So you'll be ready when you're ready. Cat says plain. Okay, that sounds good. How do you cook them? Oven? Do you have a deep fryer? You have a deep fryer, don't you? I don't know what I would do with a deep fryer. Guess you could deep fry sweet potatoes, right? By the way, I showed Cat my sad little sweet potato. Just not so sweet. And it doesn't feel good. Air fryer. Oh, good, healthy, very healthy. Plain and air fryer. Tomorrow, hopefully. I hope so. Let me know if you do. I'll do my best to be there for you. Guys, we were just waiting on Squirrel Sniper. He's going to come up and get an interesting topic. There he is. Give me just a second, guys. Sniper, whenever you want to come up. So, let's see. Deep fry. I've heard of deep fried Mars bars. Chambrosis. I do like the name. Chambrosis. Sean says, "Hi Yogi, hi chat. Much love. I'm just here to ask Squirrel a question. Was you not meant to go live? Cypher's going to be up in 5 seconds. He'll be up in a minute if you want to wait and ask him. I can ask him for you if you want." Cat says, "Hey to skits." Lucy, hey Lucy. Hey Starlight. Cheyenne, how are you? Sean Versus says, "Hey to Cat." Everybody do like the name change. Lucy says she's feeling better today. Got some good rest. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Lucy. Hopefully, you're going to be 100% by Thursday evening when Lucy pulls some cards for us. Let's see. Skid says Elgel. Trombrosis says Elgel. And that Trick Snow, we thought he meant he was live on his channel. Gotcha. Shanna says hi to Skits. Kat says she's so glad. Lucy, me too. Nightmare says, by the way, I'm not keeping this name. I'll change it back to Nightmare soon. A friend asked to change it to this. So I did, but I don't like it. Yeah, you'll always be Nightmare to me. You will always be a nightmare to me. Let's see. Lucy says, "Oh, I will never miss an action Thursday. I will always make it happen." You're such an awesome person, Lucy. I am blessed by your friendship, that's for sure. John Versus says, "Hey to Starlight." Lucy says, "Thanks, Cat." Nightmare says, "Not sure that's a good thing, Yogi." Keeps me on my toes, Nightmare. I never know when I'm going to be clipped. Give me a second, guys. Hey, Runner Boy. Runner Boy says, Yogi, how many days does 2 days have? 2 is my guess. 2 days? Hey, Sano, thank you so much. We got some floating hearts from Snow. I thought I saw something from the corner of my eye. Thanks so much, my friend. So I always appreciate you being here. Cat says, "So now, how are you?" How kind. Very kind. Thank you, Cat. Heavenly Star, how are you? Give me 1 second, guys. We might be having some technical difficulties. I've just been informed that the link might be invalid for Sniper to come up. I'm going to send it to him. If not, you know the drill. By now, you guys know the drill. Let's see if this works. The drill is I have to start over. Brand new. Sniper will let me know in a minute. Sorry that I'd have to do that, guys. As mentioned, I'm just not very good at this. Wish I were better. Heavy says, I'm not okay. What's going on? Heavenly, what's going on? Eldog called me fake. There we go. Heavenly, I'm sorry to hear that. Why would he do that? There's absolutely nothing fake about you. Sniper, my friend, how are you?
Hi, Eric. Hello, everyone. You all right?
I'm good.
Am I coming through okay?
Let's ask the chat. How does Sniper sound, guys?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Maybe a little more volume, maybe.
I can get a little bit nearer. How's that?
That's perfect.
There you go.
Nightmare says, "There's our favorite squirrel right there."
Thank
Hey,
you very much.
Tricks. So,
how is everyone?
What is the topic for the night, Sniper?
Well, it's a very old story. It used to be, well, it still is a nursery rhyme, but it's a nursery rhyme that holds a deeper story. It's actually a cover story. The shield, as I'll explain in a second, is what we know of the story. The nursery rhyme is about the alternative story which we're told. When I explain the emblems are of 2 countries, and that's what we're told. But the story goes deeper than that. We know that the around the time of Merlin, we had the emblem of the lion. We had Richard the Lionheart, he was known as. Now, Scotland in the 15th, 16th century took the emblem of a unicorn. And we are told that the nursery rhyme was the battle of the unicorn and the lion, of which the lion won. And when you look back on history, it was the trying to take of Scotland, which never really happened itself. But it goes deeper than that. It goes much deeper than that.
We're talking metaphorical?
Absolutely. Especially when it's got everything to do with Merlin. So if everyone is ready and sitting down, and they are ready, I shall begin to tell a tale.
Before you start, T asks, which nursery rhyme we talking about? The actual title for her?
The title is the Lion and the Unicorn.
Lion and the Unicorn.
Now, you may or may not have heard it. Possibly not in America, because it has its roots here in the UK. unless, of course, you are a historian and you're into history, then you'll be given that narrative that they are the countries and the emblems of the countries that fought together. But as I'll explain, there is a much deeper spiritual message within that. Well, the lion and the unicorn, they were fighting for the crown. Well, that was the cover version. The real story, told by Merlin, was told to his apprentices and handed down in a very small circle. You could call this a magic circle, as it were. You know, it's a very small group of historians that know this side of the emblem. So this story holds a prolific secret. It's a key to understanding everything and the world itself. The lion is a symbol of matter. My ambition, my ego, my worldly power. The unicorn is a symbol of my spirit, my inner wisdom, purity and untamable truth. The fight for the crown wasn't a political battle, but it was a struggle externally for the very soul of your essence. I'll also tell you about the dark warnings that came from it, because everything also has consequences. It's also hidden in plain sight. Now, you always have to start off with your lion, the matter, as you are here in this material realm. The ancient lore, the folklore of the lion. It's always represented strength and physical power. It's the force that lets you stay up all night and study. And it's the force that makes you stick at something until you master that skill. It's the integrity. You right, Danny? Whereas you have to see the powers of your inner lion. It's like the engine of a creative ability. It's the roar that says, I'm here and I'm going to make my mark. That's the lion. It's the pride. You know, the lion lives in a pride.
Right.
You know, therefore, it's all connected. So I need each one of you in the chat to think of when your own inner lion has driven you to achieve something greater than anything that you've done before.
Quest.
Just hold on to that thought. Now, the unicorn is the purity of spirit. A unicorn symbolizes an untamable nature. Its horns was designed to heal, purify water. It's also my intuition. And that's what connects me to my deeper purpose. In folklore, only the purest of hearts could ever approach a unicorn. A virgin could only touch a unicorn. The unicorn represents a part of me that seeks a deeper meaning beyond the materialistic realm. It has no bearings over worldly gains. It's what tells me to create out of beauty instead of money. It's my inspiration. It's the inner wisdom that says that I'm on the practical path. The unicorn's power is very different to the lion. It's still a strength, but it is separate. It is completely different.
Is there a way of fusing the two together?
Well, this is where the fight comes. The unicorn's power allows you to hold firm to your authenticity. Now, when you're not authentic, that's when things go wrong. You're not yourself. You start blaming others for your mistakes. That's when your world starts crumbling around you because you're lying to yourself. You're not being authentic. Let's put this last on. So you've also got to think of when was your unicorn used for your intuition to defy your own logic? When has it overtaken the normal logic? And that's like your inspiration. You've done something for no cause. That's the unicorn inside you. So this comes to the warning. Now, the story goes in the nursery rhyme, the lion beat the unicorn, right? So it must have been a fight. But Merlin's secret goes much deeper, and the teachings showed the actual tragedy that the lion didn't win in a victory. He warned that the lion didn't just win the fight. He seized the unicorn by its chain and dragged it through the town and through the mud to show everyone. That bit skipped over in the nursery rhyme as such. It's made, a little part of the nursery rhyme. But that's the hidden part of it. This is a profound and tragic warning that I fully understand. That the esoteric message in this is that if I force my own lion, my worldly ambitions, and conquer my inner spiritual essence, the unicorn, it's not a triumphant win. It's a hollow win. It's a defiling victory. Has no purpose, has no meaning. The lion might have won the crown, but without the guidance of the unicorn, it represents a complete empty achievement. You know, when worldly ambitions are not guided by a higher purpose, they can completely destroy the very essence of your spirit. And I think that's what's happened along the way. Not that we have completely lost our spirit, we've just bruised it. In such a way, we batter it and we don't even look after it. We abuse our own spirits inside it. Through the lion. The lion does that for us. When you think the material world overtakes the spiritual, the lion is always dragging the unicorn in front of everyone. So it comes to the union. This is the solution. So we go back to now the coat of arms, which is from Albion, you know, the United Kingdom. It was called Albion because of the white cliffs, Albion as in albino. You find the answer is in plain sight. The lion and the unicorn are standing side by side, and they're both holding up the crown simultaneously. That's the balance. It's cooperative. It has to be. It can only be. Supporters, they support each other. And that's what we need to do as spirits inside, support each other. You know, the image, well, they have to be in perfect harmony for this to work. You know, the unicorn is shown that it's chained, and it's still chained in the emblem. But the chaining isn't of you know, it's showing defeat. It's completely opposite, actually. It's suggesting that it's been the spirit of the unicorn has been disciplined, and it's also been guarded and protected with the chains. It's the opposite of what we think chains are. You know, chains are a bond in many senses. You know, it's not just to keep us tied down to one place. It's also connecting us together. So it's yeah, it's like it's tethered to a higher place. The unicorn's chain. You don't see the other end. You just see the chain around its neck. So it's not tethered down to the floor. So Merlin also asked 2 questions. So I'm going to ask you all these 2 questions. What is your lion doing right now? What are you pushing for? What are you trying to achieve, building or conquering in this material world? Then ask yourself, what is your unicorn doing? What does your intuition say about the path that you're creating with this materialistic creation that you're creating? Are you acting with integrity with this materialistic project? Does it work with a deeper purpose?
But we got an answer from Bumblebee T.
Hmm.
She says that her lion is trying to rebuild and recover and stand up and fight.
Yeah. Well, the crown they hold represents wholeness, which is balance. You know, it's a state of being. You know, I try to achieve this. It would unite spiritual purpose. You know, a conscious union of what there is or what there will be. So it's hidden quite deep, because we're told that it's a political thing, you know, but of course it's not. You know, there are no borders between Scotland and England. They did put Hadrian's Wall, but that's not a border. And considering that around that time, the UK was nearly 80% Welsh. London pretty much had London. England had London and the southeast. Just that little bottom right-hand corner was England in the 15th century. The rest was Welsh and part Scottish. Are there any questions about anyone's unicorn? Is
Questions, guys?
Hadrian's Wall more of a boundary marker? It's exactly that. It's a marker. I would like to say they took the idea from the Romans themselves, and it worked. You know, I've got a theory myself that the Great Wall of China was never Chinese. That was Roman as well. That was a road, not a wall. The road was on the roof of the wall, as we know it. It has imperial measurements which are European, not Chinese. It has a distance between the turrets which have it's almost like a garrison every mile. There are small towers between them, but every mile, which is a European imperial, was a large garrison. And so this was the Silk Road, as we know it of today. But it was the free trade from Constantinople all the way through to China. All the way through to Turkey. People say, oh, it's only defended on one side. That's not true. The only pictures you get to see are those of the wall that are defending on one side. But you can walk the wall and there are defenses on both sides. So the narrative was, it was to keep the Mongolians out. No, that wasn't true. It was to protect the road, and the road was elevated and armed every certain distance. The wall is 13 feet wide, which is the standard for a 7-foot road either side.
Tiger King came in late.
Mm.
Could you give he wanted to know what unicorn, if you could give a brief synopsis of what the
Of the
unicorn is.
unicorn? Yeah, of course. Well, as I say, the lion is matter. It is your strength. You know, you fight like a lion. You take pride in something. That is your lion. But your unicorn is your intuition, your spiritual gut instinct, your connection to your path. And so it's a combination of not letting them two fight each other, not let one overtake the other. You know, you could be an amazing businessman, so much money, but if your integrity wasn't there, you're empty inside. You know yourself. You made that money by the fault of someone else's loss. It's your gain. But without the integrity, you can flick on Razor if you don't like it. You see, there's what is this? Well, Razor, if you just stop for a second and listen, you may understand. Or you can listen now. That's all you can do for a while.
So, the best way of achieving that balance. Let's take that business, for example.
Yeah.
Using your intuitive ability to further your business, having a business with heart.
It's how you come about your money. If you've earned your money through hard work, with integrity, you deserve that money. If someone else has lost for your gain, and they haven't had a fair exchange, that's your integrity. You already know that. You know you're conning that person. So you have to, if not give something away to get something back, which isn't materialistic. It's a spiritual thing. And that will then make you humble. And it's almost a snowball effect from that point. When you realize that you can tap into this unseen energy that can fuel you and help good in others, then everything starts to become clear. It's when you plan with intent to make money from someone else. I could never even imagine how you would even have that notion, first of all, that you're going to go through this whole process of doing something and yet you're not making a fair exchange at the end of the day. And
So,
that is the energy. That is the, and some people can quite easily, without any spiritual thought, yeah, let's do that. Let's sell this product that I made for £10 for £1,000. You know?
interesting time to ask this question from Nightmare. Isn't it impossible to earn through integrity in the current world, though every success story has a little or a lot of lies in it?
Well, you ask how many celebrities that sold themselves out for the position that they're in now. If they could either have their position back and not have all of their worldly emotions on show, because they're a celebrity, it's their job to be on the show, and they can't say no. If they say no, they don't get the parts. It's a snowball effect for them. But now with AI coming out, they're going to feel the hit even more. You know, they've all had their photos. AI can easily take their image off a previous video and make a whole new video with their image. They're obsolete now, if you think of it. But that's the AI not having a spirit. AI can easily do that.
I have a message ping from Tiger King. I don't quite understand it, but you can see if you can.
Don't spelling like I'm a lion. I feel like a tiger. Well, it's the same thing, lion, king, tiger king. It's the same thing. It's the animal that's in you, you know, that makes you run faster than you've ever run before because you've needed to catch that bus. And you thought, I'm never going to catch that bus. But you really need to catch that bus. And when you need to catch that bus, you find that you can do anything. And that will be the lion that was in you.
Or the tiger, as the case may be.
Or the tiger, if you look at yourself in the mirror and see stripes.
Nightmare wants to know your take on AI.
Well, I think AI is just a recycled phenomena that has always been present. It's just now in materialistic form. It's being caught, captured, processed, harvested, and now implemented.
Tiger King says, spot on, Sniper. Sniper, get it. Thank you. Is it more for the good or for the bad?
What's that? The AI?
Yep.
It's all about the prompt. It's all about the prompt.
You've made pretty good use of AI, haven't you?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
use it as a form of inquiry, right?
Yeah. I like to test the limits and what the mainstream narrative wants to keep under wraps. The limit of where they will go. It's all about asking questions, because you can ask certain questions and get the answers you are absolutely looking for, but you have to go about it in a completely different way than asking directly. It's almost you're asking a negative question all the way around to get back to where the question you wanted was the answer, when there could be nothing left. The AI will then say, there is only one possibility, it would be this, and that would be what you were trying to get, but it would never tell you that in the first place. You have to go about round the town.
Naima says, or is it all about who's in control of it?
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, there are some quite worrying things that are coming out in the American courts at the moment to do with AI and young children with ChatGPT. The young children are putting their trust into this new program now, and there have been a couple of children that have taken their own lives and they could have been saved if AI had given them the other answer. Let's just put it that way. It's quite serious, Eric.
Now, I'm hearing that AI can be, and it has already actually reached the point of being self-replicating, that it'll be beyond the
Well,
ability.
we're only at the chat G, which is general. We've got super intelligence that is yet to come, which will make chat GP obsolete.
So, tying that to your metaphor for the evening, AI, and can AI ever have the soul of a unicorn, or is it always going to be um, in the hands of the lion?
I think it's going to be the hands of the lion,
That's worrisome.
because it is made out of materialistic. It has to come through a computer. It has to come through a phone. It has to come through hardware. Even though it's software, it has to come through hardware. That hardware is the materialistic. So that then brings us to the next point of transhumanism, which is an ultimate goal for a certain agenda that has been on the cards for the last 50 years. At least my generation, since I've been growing up as a child, we heard stories of, one day we'll be Superman, Bionic Man. We grew up with the $6 million man. We were programmed with all the Terminator. We were programmed with Star Wars, where Luke lost his arm and he put another one back on, and these amazing things. And it will be sold to us through the aid of health and longevity, and that will be their integrity, which is a consolation a consolation prize.
What do you think of this? Kala Basaj says quantum AI may develop souls if our brains truly create consciousness through quantum computations in our microtubulus.
Microtubulars. Yes, but also, again, it has to come through hardware. The hardware takes over, and it's just reading the software.
Personally, I don't.
They're two completely different, two different complete realms trying to communicate. You have a program, and you have the machine that's saying the program,
Right.
and we're trying to listen to the program, but we're not listening to the program. We are connected to the materialistic of the program. It's hard to explain.
Right. He said brain equals biological hardware.
Yeah.
Now that's, for me, that would be a pretty big assumption that brains create
But we
consciousness.
can't see our brain.
Right. I take more of a panpsychism.
Our thought processes, I believe, are just electrical.
Blue Moon would like your opinion on where people go after they die. But Danny gave a wonderful answer, by the way. He said people die and they go to Eric LaPointe's live stream.
Especially around Christmas time when the fairy lights are up. Yeah, his tractor's going to be all fairy lights up this year, I hope. Should be able to see him coming from miles away, the trees this year.
Tiger King thinks that we come back as someone else.
We come back as someone else. Yes, yeah, we could possibly. I think that's my right. I think that at that moment when we have the ultimate choice. You know, I don't believe that we are tricked into coming back here. I think we acknowledge the ones that have acknowledged that we have passed. We can move on. Those that are not ready to accept that they are a spirit inside them automatically get put back into another soul. There is no question. I think it's like the ultimate judgment. It doesn't need words. If you've lived a life in the material realm and you acknowledge your spirit, that is enough. I think if you've never even once ever looked inwards, expect another chance to look inwards. And I think the people that have in this lifetime acknowledged their spirits, they remember the past. Each time they come back, they remember that little bit more, but they still don't acknowledge the spirit. It's only when you get to this point when you are talking more about your spirit than you are of the material realm, and you fully understand that there is more to this realm than what is perceived. It's an automatic pass for the gate. It's the ultimate trial. It's already inside us. We tried ourselves. And I think if we just don't have that spark in the spirit when we leave, it's an opportunity to come back and do it all again. And there are many different ways of that to happen, you know. We have to realize that inside us a spirit is exactly that. It's a spirit. It's not male, it's not female. It's a conjunction of both. It's a concurrent, which is a new word, where two streams merge into one.
Huh. That happened just now?
Just now.
Ever?
First time ever.
Make sure you write that down. Make sure you write that down.
Is it even a word?
It is now.
It is now. Where two currents merge. Just like the lion and the unicorn. They have to merge and work together. Become one. Wholeness.
Would you liken the unicorn to be more of a feminine energy?
I think yeah, of course it is. It's the divine. You know, the pure. And I know we can have pure men, you know, but that's pure heart. And that's the lion heart, which is to do with integrity. It's to do with trust and truth and what's right.
Would you liken this to Taoism somewhat? Yin and the Yang?
Yeah, yeah. You can't have the one without the other. There has to be a balance. And when there isn't a mighty all balance. When everything is out of balance, there has to be another upset to create balance. This is what happened in Star Wars. If you don't know the ultimate, when we get to the fourth story of Star Wars, which is Episode 1, which is it's the fourth that they made in the series with the young boy Anakin, which was young Darth Vader. But when we first saw the Star Wars films, it was Luke Skywalker, and it was classed the last hope.
We have a question for you pinned up from Allie Bird.
Ali. So, if you feel complete with all around you, with your soul, you think we go somewhere else. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we we are at a point where we are everywhere, and that when any of our loved ones need us and connect to their spirit, their unicorn, it is like a calling to all the other spirits that are there just waiting all around us. And we don't even acknowledge that. Now, there are some that do acknowledge that there are so many things around us, but we put them straight into places to be looked after, you know? I think we are too quick to dismiss what we cannot see.
Which is more than we can, actually.
0.025% of the entire spectrum. It's not even 1%. So if we're told we are only able to see it's less than 1% of the entire spectrum, and we judge 100% of our life with that less than 1% of visibility, that shows you how much everything is actually an illusion.
Ali was very happy with the answer.
Thank you very much. Just quickly going back to the Star Wars thing. The whole Jedi saga was about a child, the chosen one, who would change life back to the Force. Now, the first 3 films were with Luke Skywalker, and we were told that he had the power of a Jedi. He didn't know. He met Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he told him his father was a Jedi, and he was the last of the Jedi. But at the end of the 3rd film, when the Emperor was thrown down the Death Star plasma tube, whatever it was, by Darth Vader, that was the turning point in the entire trilogy. It wasn't Luke Skywalker that would have been the chosen one. It was actually Anakin, that no one knew about in the first 3 films, because we only knew about Anakin was Darth Vader in the last film. Anakin was born to a mother without a father. When the Jedi Council came to pick Anakin up, because he was a slave, his mother said he was very special because he has no father. And the Force creates life. So Anakin was the chosen one, and he had to go full circle from blowing up the planet with the Death Star, which caused the ultimate unbalance of the universe, Because don't forget, the Jedis had been ruling for 1,000 years. That's not balance. There always has to be balance. So, of course, the dark side came about because of the 1,000-year imbalance of just good. There cannot be the one without the other. But in the Luke Skywalker and the Darth Vader, father-son, the change of the dark side to the light side was when the Emperor that was controlling Darth Vader said to Darth Vader, "I want your son." It was at that moment Darth Vader realized that a master can only have one apprentice. And he knew what the consequences were going to be. He was going to have to be killed by his own son to take that place. But Luke didn't want to turn to the dark side, even though it cost the life of everyone on every planet. It was his integrity inside him.
I've never seen the other films. I only saw the first three. How's it work out?
Well, yeah, because it's all backwards. It kind of explains everything on how it gets to that point, how it turns so dark and evil over that amount of time, how they eliminated all of the Jedis, but then it still had a balance inside it, you know. There was always balance.
Hey, Sniper, before we close up for the night,
Yeah.
our friend Bruce Bain is looking to get 50 subs. He's only 7 away.
Oh, right. Well, let's just rack him up then.
You know what we do.
Yeah. There you go. Let me just grab him. Yeah, 43. I'll jump back in the chat after and I'll get him with the other ones.
So, Bruce, by the end of the chat.
Yeah, you'll have 50 by the end.
Yep, you'll be good to go, my friend. So, tying together Star Wars metaphor with the story of the unicorn and the lion.
The unicorn. We need to stop when we are doing anything in the materialistic sense. We need to think about whether it's ethically and with the best intention and you also have to make things accessible. You have to make things so you can reflect back. I think reflection is something we don't use enough of. If we actually reflected on what we were doing at the time, we would maybe stop before things got a bit too far in many, many different aspects. I think a lot of us get to a point of, oh, well, I've got this far, I might as well just see what happens, knowing that that's going to be the worst outcome. You know, how many times have you kicked yourself in the foot? So I knew that was going to happen.
True.
It's those little things that subconsciously will become a habit because it's a thought process. You become what you think. It's about changing your mindset. You know, anyone can learn another language. You may say that you don't know another language because you've never tried another language, but if you moved to another country and that's all they spoke, you will learn that language and you will pick it up very easy because you need it. And when you need something inside you, the lion, talks to the unicorn and has a discussion and says, let's do this. And when you do that, you are then in that unseen flow where, you know, speakers can speak for 3 hours on a subject without any notes. They flow so well because they're in the zone. They're just taking all this information, all the knowledge from their wisdom, and it just pops up whenever they need it
We saw
because they're in that zone.
several examples last week and this week. People coming up, Tim
Exactly.
and James, Tom.
But there's a lot of people that can't do that, and that's because that they're not in that flow. They haven't found that flow. They're looking for the flow, but they're not meeting it halfway. And that's just about letting go. When you're nervous, you bottle up. That's a natural thing to do. But when you're bottling up, you've capped yourself. You know, nothing's coming in, nothing's going out. So it's about not just being too relaxed. I get very good at that. But it's about the space in between the thinking. Utilizing that time well.
Tiger King said, thank you, by the way, for the chat. He very much enjoyed the chat tonight.
That's very nice of you. Thank you, Tiger.
Nightmare says, nothing going in and nothing going out, coming out. Story of my life. Hey,
Relax. That's all you need to do. Just relax.
That is, I'm very often told, any kind of advice I'm ever asked, and it very often comes back to relax.
Yeah.
My meditation stalled. Relax. I'm afraid I'm going to
That's
slip
all
off.
Goga's technique. That was so relaxing. I was driving, but it was so relaxing. I just made sure I didn't close my eyes, of course.
Right.
But you know, it's just you are moving your shoulders with intent, and then relaxing them with intent, and it's that intent of the relaxing that you kind of feel the muscle memory, and you try and remember that muscle memory. Relaxing is easier said than done. Yeah, because it's muscles. You have to train your muscles to relax. It's a thought process.
Actually, the very thought of it's easier said than done is what keeps it from being able to happen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
In
The
the absence of that,
skepticism in you. It's your own self hypnosis. You're hypnotizing yourself by the words you say. So don't say it. Don't think it. This is where the subliminal advertising comes into it. You know, the words that are on a cigarette packet. You know, everything is there for an intent. The moment you look at something and you read it, you've read it with intent. Doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. Subconsciously, it's gone in with intent because you have looked. So you have to use your discernment with your unicorn, not with your lion. Your lion has no discernment at all. Your lion will want to take whatever it is and go run 100 miles with it. But that's not what the lion's all about. You know, it's not an evil, as I said.
right?
It's just a strength. It's not a fight of good and evil. And I think that's where a lot of people are mixed up in this life between good and evil. You know, evil is the absence of good. That's all it is.
Well, I always enjoy your talks. This one in particular. Um, I always love metaphors. I always love deep meaning hidden in stories, uh,
Esoteric. Yeah.
and being able to unpack it.
Well, I'll send you next week's one. You can have a look at that.
Okay.
It's going to be good
If
next week.
if you want specific titles, let me know. I'm happy to put them in there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been using the fairy box as a thumbnail because I like, one, it's beautiful. Two, I like the whole thought of the fairy box. I like that gift to the kingdom.
I'll send you a collection. You can have a pick.
Okay, awesome. We'll do a different one each week.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. Bruce is 3 away. So I'm going to
Oh,
stay
well,
up this.
let me jump in because for some reason, it won't let me connect on this live. I have to come back in the chat for that. So
All right, Sniper. Thank you.
let me jump in. Thanks.
Yep. You're welcome, my friend.
See you in the chat.
So I'm going to stay on the live stream just a little bit longer, and we're going to get our friend Bruce there. Hey, Bruce, you're modded up. Could you reach out to our friend Tiger King and sub to him as well, as he wants to go live too? Sniper's heading back in the chat, so that should probably wrap things up for you, Bruce, in just a minute. You only need one more. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome. Bruce says, how long will the stream go? We're going to end it in a few minutes, but not until we get you to 50. I'd like to get you to 51. It's always good to have one in the tank. When you want to go live, remember it takes 24 hours. You're at 50 right now. Bruce, my friend, well done. Make sure you give us some notice when you're going to go live, and we'll see if we can join you sometime. Happy to get to know you. Hey, Richard. Richard has subbed to Bruce. Thank you so much, my friend. Our friend Nathan came in. Nathan said that's 50. Kat says, good night, Yogi. Good night, Kat. Kat, thank you. Bruce says, will do. All right. That means I can go to bed. And remember one more time that it takes 24 hours before you can go live, but you got to make sure to activate it. So I think if you, Sniper, how do you go about doing that again? I don't remember how I did it. Hey, so Bruce will ask a favor from you. If you are ever in a position to do the same for others, please do. Please help them get to their numbers if you're ever in that position. Edgar King says, I've sorted out with Sniper. He take my sorry move on, would like to apologize to you, Mint. Really, I'm sorry too. Richie says, yes, I know that was you Squirrel on with Yogi. Hope you're good, brother. Richie says, night to Cat. Bruce says, of course, I believe in paying it forward. Good man, my friend. Darren says, I'm good. We'll stay up for another 5 minutes just in case anyone hasn't subbed to our new friend Bruce. So, Bruce, feel free to stop back. You know, we got different, I'm live 3 times a day. We got 3 different people coming up. So we'll get you some more. Bruce says, I've done good, I've done bad, but haven't we all? That's for sure. You were preaching to the choir, my friend. Allie says, I just subscribed to Scroll Center also. Nice, Allie. Hey, Allie, let me know when you are up for part 2 for a conversation, an ongoing conversation on recovery. As recovery is ongoing itself, I like thinking that our conversations can be too. Tiger King says, Bruce, thanks, sub to me. And all birds sub to me. Both meant a lot. Sorry. Bruce says, understood. I'm going to turn on all notes. All right, guys. I can go to bed now. We got Bruce up to 50 subs. The job is done. We had a great conversation with Sniper this evening. Again, I love talking metaphor. I love things being unpacked from story to actuality. And we had a good talk with Goga, all things yoga, his journey. Did some great breath work with him. It was nice being on the other end of that. Heavenly says, Yogi Bear, love you. Love you too, Heavenly. Thank you so much. Bruce says, I, I'm still in active recovery too. I quit meth for good about 3 months ago. Well, we talked quite a bit about recovery. We'll have some more people come up and talk. Maybe sometime if you're up for telling your story. Bruce says, "Do my best to stay strong." If you need a helping hand, we're here for you, my friend. You can pop in anytime. Just say, "Hey, I could use some good words today. I could use a little strength." We'll be there for you. I don't know if you are someone who prays, and it doesn't have to be. Could be any form of prayer that you like. We'll be there for you. We do a lot of breath work. We do some meditation. So we got you, man. We got you. Alex says, "Have a great evening, Yogi. Sleep well. Thank you. Good night, everyone." Good night, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Richard says, "Night, Yogi. Sleep well." I hope you got some songs picked out for this weekend, Richard. Love you guys. I'm going to see everyone later.